This is a sample educational plan for someone who's interested in majoring in biological sciences at, for example, UC Davis. It really depends on knowing where you want to transfer to find out the major prep required courses. So you always want to go to assist.org to find out, for the major of bioscience at UC Davis or UCLA or UC Berkeley or Cal State San Luis Obispo or San Jose State, to find out exactly what are the most common courses that you can take here at Las Positas College. So remember, this is just a tentative plan. It's not complete, but it's just kind of giving you a general idea of the core required courses. So I'm going to use for this example the bioscience major for UC Davis for someone who's interested in transferring. And let's say for this example that the student tested into Math 38 based upon the math placement test. So then the student would have to take Math 38 Trig, then Pre-Calculus, then Math 1, Calculus 1, and then of course Math 2. So that's sort of the sequence of math classes that the student would be required to take. And the student would also want to take the chemistry assessment, because depending upon their level based on the chemistry assessment, because unless if a student has AP score results from a chemistry AP with a 3 or better, all incoming students must take the chemistry placement test to place into Chem 1A. If they don't test into Chem 1A, then they have to take the prerequisite course, Chem 31, prior taking to Chem 1A. Okay, so in this example, for example, fall of 2012, I have a student starting off with Math 38. The student tested into English 1A, and the student didn't feel, for example, that the high school was very good in preparing them very rigorously for a biological science area, meaning that the lab component of the bio class was not as in-depth or rigorous or demanding. So again, I just want to emphasize that while Biology 31 is not required, it's strongly recommended prior to taking Zoology 1 or Botany. If your high school or background did not have a really strong laboratory component where you maintain a meticulous journal writing and all that, then you might be interested in taking the Bio 31 first to prepare you for Zoology 1 or Botany 1. Okay, so for fall 2012, a student is taking Math 38, English 1A, and Biology 31 for a total of 12 units. The following spring semester, then, the student continues with the Math 20, signs up for Chem 31, and Zoology 1. So this will be a total of 14 units. Then over the summer, the student will finish their English requirement, English 4 or 7, their social science or arts or humanities general ed course for a total of 6 units. The following fall semester, enrolling in Chem 1A for 5 units, Botany 1 for 5 units, and then Math 1. So these semesters are going to be very intense, because you'll be taking 1 math class plus 2 science classes with labs. Then the following spring semester, spring 2014, finishing up the first year of chemistry, Chem 1B, Biology 1, and Math 2. So these altogether would still not be enough to transfer to UC Davis, because when you add up the units, this will be 7 transferable UC units, 14 transferable units, that would equal 21, 6 over here, 15 and 15, that only adds up to 57 units. So you would have to add another 3-unit course somewhere in order to have the minimum of 60 to transfer. Now, another thing to always keep in mind as well is that for UC Davis, they are very specific in terms of what major prep courses are required prior to transfer. So it's very important, because they will update this information every year, to keep note of it. Because even though you might think, okay, I have the minimum UC eligibility because I have English, I have my transferable math class, I have my my science classes and my general ed class coming from 2 different areas, minimum of 4 general education classes coming from at least 2 different areas. So this will be your 1 general education course coming from either social and arts and humanities, and then your other 3 coming from the physical sciences. Okay, but I wanted to make mention that this would be sort of the general starting point, but you would definitely want to come in and speak to a counselor to ensure that you are, taking the right courses that's required to transfer to UC Davis or any other California public university.